What if I told you that the name Palestine has been etched in history for over 3,000 years, long before many nations we know today? The evidence is right here, carved in stone. Today we journey through time to uncover these remarkable records, from the walls of Egyptian temples to the chronicles of Greek historians. Our first stop takes us to ancient Egypt, where the name Padiiset, often linked to the Philistines, emerges in the time of King Ramesses III. The Medinat Habu inscriptions around 1150 BCE record the battles against the Sea Peoples, specifically mentioning a group called the Padiiset, which many scholars associate with the Philistines, a people settled in the coastal region later known as Palestine. Papyrus Harris I echoes this account, describing how the Egyptian king made the Padiiset ashes, and in Deir el-Medina, a rhetorical stele commemorates these battles, preserving the name yet again. The statue of Padiiset from 900 BCE mentions an envoy to Canaan and Padiiset. It includes an inscription referring to trade between Canaan and the Padiiset Philistines and ancient Egypt. A century later, the Onomasticon of Amenope, an ancient Egyptian dictionary, lists Padiiset alongside other known peoples, solidifying their presence in the historical record. As we move forward in time, we find Palashtu or Pilistu inscribed in Assyrian records. The Nimrud slab of Adad-nirari III, dating to around 800 BCE, includes a description of early Assyrian conquests in Syria and Palestine. The Adad-nirari III's Saba'a Stele, dating to around 800 BCE, mentions, "In the 5th year of my official rule, I sat down solemnly on my royal throne and called up the country for war. I ordered the numerous army of Assyria to march against Philistia, Pala'astu. I received all the tributes which they brought to Assyria. I then ordered to march against the country Damascus, Saimarisu. By 735 BCE, the Assyrian Empire, in a letter to Tiglath-Pileser III, warns against trading with the Philistines. Sargon II and Sennacherib's records from 717 to 694 BCE continue to mention this land. These inscriptions highlight an enduring identity recognized across centuries. Fast forward to the 5th century BCE, where the Greek historian Herodotus provides a clear reference. He describes a region called Palestine as part of the Persian Empire's 5th satrapy. Later, Aristotle, in his work Meteorology, describes a lake in Palestine, widely understood as the Dead Sea. The name Palestine continues to appear in later texts. Around 340 BCE, the Greek philosopher Aristotle references the land in scientific observation. By 150 BCE, Polemon of Athens refers to Palestine as a part of Syria, and in 130 BCE, Agatharchides mentions Palestine in his geographic writings, further cementing its historical presence. The name Palestine, Padiiset, has been recorded in inscriptions as early as 1150 BCE in Medinat Habu, Papyrus Harris I, and the rhetorical Stela of Ramesses III. These records firmly establish its presence in ancient history. Now, let's compare this to another name, Israel. The earliest claimed mention of Israel in an inscription comes from the Mern-Ptah Stela around 1208 BCE in Egypt. However, this reference is debated because some scholars say that the word Israel mentioned on the Mern-Ptah Stela does not mean Israel. Additionally, it does not describe a distinct kingdom or settled nation, but rather as a people or group. Unlike Palestine, which is continuously referenced in inscriptions from Egyptian, Assyrian, Babylonian, and Greek records, Israel disappears from external records for centuries. No archaeological evidence supports a unified Israelite kingdom in this period. Whereas Palestine is recorded in multiple civilizations' annals, the name Palestine, Padiiset Palashtu, continues to appear in multiple inscriptions over the centuries, reinforcing its historical continuity. Let's take a closer look. 1. Earliest inscriptions of Palestine versus Israel. The name Palestine, Padiiset, first appears in 1150 BCE in Egyptian inscriptions like Medinat Habu and Papyrus Harris I. The name Israel, who some scholars consider Israel, is mentioned in Merneptah's Stela around 1208 BCE, but not as a nation-state, rather as a people or tribal entity, and no archaeological evidence of a unified kingdom has been found from that time. 2. Continuous mentions of Palestine in historical records. The term Palashtu or Pilistu is repeatedly found in Assyrian, Babylonian, and Greek records from 900 BCE to 130 BCE. Herodotus in the 5th century BCE expands the name to a regional designation, beyond just Philistia. Aristotle in the 4th century BCE and Agatharchides in the 2nd century BCE continue referencing Palestine, showing its persistent historical identity. 3. Lack of continuous references to Israel in contemporary inscriptions. After the Merneptah Stela, the name Israel does not appear in Egyptian or Assyrian records until much later biblical texts. No solid archaeological evidence supports an Israelite kingdom during the time it is traditionally believed to have existed. The biblical narrative of Israel's early history remains unverified outside of religious texts, whereas Palestine is confirmed in non-biblical inscriptions. So, what does this mean for history as we know it, and why is this name still debated today? From Egyptian temples to Assyrian prisms, from Greek historians to Roman scribes, the name Palestine has been inscribed, recorded, and remembered for thousands of years. This is not just history, it's a legacy. So, next time someone asks about Palestine's name and history, point them to the stones, the papyri, and the chronicles that have spoken for over 3 millennia. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, keep exploring history.